Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another live stream. This is exciting. This is awesome. I am just about starting the live also on Instagram by adding our guest. So here she is today. We have Liam Kurkus. Hello. How are you,
Hey,
Liam? Good, good.
good to be
Okay.
here.
So today's topic is about what does it mean to evaluate. I think we're hearing a double sound here.
1 second. Technological difficulties here.
Okie
I think
dokie.
that Okay, is that better or not?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I don't have to get off this one.
So until now, we've been talking about the importance of preparing for the holiday, and we've been getting some really good feedback. And where we are up to now is that the last conversation we spoke about how the importance of what it is to evaluate and elevate. And today we promise to get more in depth of what does evaluate mean. So that's why I invited Liam, because she has some extreme insights into why it's important to evaluate. And so one of the very first things we want to talk about is what does it mean to take account of something? When you're evaluating something, you're taking account. Liam, what are your thoughts about accounting? What are your thoughts about looking deep and evaluating something?
Right. I actually, we were talking a little bit earlier, and something that really stands out to me when we come to taking account, it can be really overwhelming because we come to like this time of the year and we look back, and all of a sudden we're looking at an entire year at one time. And that can be overwhelming because you're not really sure where to look first and what this and what that. And so I think something that's really interesting actually about the Evaluate and Elevate program is that it breaks it down by month. So you're able to take it to more light-sized pieces. You can take it and see just a little snapshot at one time, and each day is dedicated to that. So you don't have to just get overwhelmed at an entire year. You're able to say, okay, what happened in this month? What happened in this month? And just really makes it a little bit more easy to work through and to digest.
Right, exactly that. And it's exactly what a businessman does at the end of his year. At the end of his fiscal year, he sits down and he sort of breaks down every component of his business and looks through, where are the profits and the losses, within that company, and at the end of that year, then he comes to a point where he's reconciling all these profit versus losses and stuff. So, I'm talking about a businessman here, and, maybe the average person who will take this kind of a course or something like that will not necessarily be a businessman. What do you see as the connection, is the similarities?
Right. Well, I think that is such a good place to come from, though, because everybody can see where that would be important in a business. It's really easy to see, even if you aren't a business person yourself, it's really easy to see that, hey, at the end of the year, you need to know how you did. Were there things you needed to work on? Were there things you totally forgot about? Were there certain leaks that were happening of all of a sudden all this money is just going down this drain and we don't know why?
Right.
That is easy to see in a business sense. So I think when you look at that, then you're able to say, okay, but now how does that just affect me? Just somebody who's an individual, somebody who's just maybe not a business person, and even if I am a business person, how does that affect my personal life?
Right.
How does it affect me as an individual human being besides all the things that I do and all the things that I'm part of? Because, I think especially this year that we've had, that it's just easy to look back. Oh yeah, just the other day. Oh, hold it. That was a year ago. Time goes so fast, and it only gets faster as we get through life. And if we never sit down at some point in our life all of a sudden we're going to look back and we're going to say, wow, how did I get to here?
Right.
And being able to go every single year, and you have a specific time of the year that you're able to look over and reconcile those accounts, so to say. You're able
Right.
to look over that year and really break it down. And when you take it, like what I was saying earlier, that month by month makes it easier to chunk, but it also helps you to see the succession or the progression, rather, of like, okay, so I did this and that led to this, but I didn't even realize it when it happened because it was like 3-4 months apart.
Sure.
I was in the middle of it. I didn't see how they were connected. But now looking back, I realized that what I did in, let's say, May affected what happened in August.
Right.
I was able to see that like progression in that line in a way that if I just never did it, never took account, never reconciled my books, if you want to say, I would just never see that connection. And so I think it really helps us to see, you know, those even little habits that we go, oh, that led to a good outcome, or this and this not such a good outcome. So we're able to like really, I think, relate to our own lived experiences better.
Right. And I mean, last live, I spoke about how each month has its unique lesson that's in that month.
Yeah.
You know, let's say Tishrei and Adar and all these different Hebrew months. This is a Jewish program. All kinds of months has their specific unique lesson to each of us to learn from. And, you know, exactly like what you're saying is that I could take each of these specific lessons and reconcile them with my day-to-day life. And that's exactly a part where, you know, the whole purpose of growing in this high holiday season is the need of improvement. We are growing beings, you know. Yesterday I heard a really beautiful speech that it said that us as humans, we are growing. So anything that is a living mechanism sort of needs to grow. And if we're not growing, then we're not alive in a sense. So that was really, really interesting to me. I'd love to hear, you know, what is your perspective on improvement and growing, and how does evaluating come into play with that?
Well, I think, you know, you kind of said it so well that, you know, each month has its lesson, but I feel like also each month brings us a different energy. You know, when we are in Adar, you're in this really like kind of more like excitable and joyful energy. And then when you come really now to the months that we're in now, it's more somber. So you are able to go through all the emotions. Something I really love in Judaism, we don't have just like one emotion, how you're supposed to approach things.
Right.
Everything has its own emotion and energy level that you're able to bring to it. And I think that also is reflective of that area of improvement, because, you know, sometimes it's easy to be one emotion or another. For some people, it's really easy to be happy. And for some people, it's really easy to be serious. And looking and seeing all these different levels that we can grow in allows us to really, I think personally, take a really honest look at ourselves and say, okay, where is it that I need to improve? Because we all need to improve. We're all human. And I love that idea of, if you're not growing, what are you doing? Are you even alive? And that it's not a bad thing to need to improve. It's the best thing. It means that you are this living thing, this being that's in an active relationship with the world around you, with the people around you, and with Hashem, that you're in this relationship, and it's not just something that's stagnant. Like if you think of water, if it's stagnant, it's nasty. It's going to be gross, and weird, bad things are going to be growing in it. Not like having life and having good things coming forth from it. So I feel like in our lives, and like looking at relationships and as people, that improvement has to be there. It's vital.
Right.
It's like a vital
time. Thank you so much. We are at our 10-minute mark. We do use that 10 minutes. But I do want to invite everybody to join us, to, you know, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Bizfluence, all these social platforms. And just to remind you that the coming Thursday, in a couple of days, same time, same place. We will be here talking about the next step. After evaluating, you want to elevate those months. So you don't want to miss that live. We are going to see everybody. And again, thank you all for joining, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Bye.